Hey everyone, it's Megan the Crafty Quinn, and I'm so excited to bring you another spring video. This one is all spring, not Easter, and this will be using mostly Dollar Tree items to create a spring tiered tray. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you can see here, I have these two little bitty buckets, and you can actually find these in the kind of like baby shower, bridal shower section, and that's where these came from. And so these really came in handy with what I had in mind. I wanted to make more of a modern farmhouse colored tier tray. And with that, I'm picturing a lot of white and black, or white with some black edgings, and that's kind of the theme that I'm going with today, the color scheme that I'm going with. So I decided to just paint the edges of this bucket since it was already painted white. That was really convenient. And I just decided to kind of trace along any edges or outlines and add this black trim. I did this to the top of the bucket. I did this to the bottom of each bucket. I even did it in the middle as well to make the bucket look as though it had been, I guess, slightly tarnished over time. So it really gave things a unique look that I was trying to go for. And once I had that right where I wanted it, I decided to use this method of cutting through the floral foam from Dollar Tree with my bucket to kind of get it close to the shape that I wanted. You don't have to do it this way. I was just kind of looking for a quick way to get the shape of the floral foam, just like I said, quickly. And this just, I was like, well, I'll just give it a try. Let's see if it works. And it ended up being a really, really quick way to get it as close to the shape as I wanted as possible. So then I decided to glue everything down, and that's because I didn't want any floral foam kind of sticking out of this. I took some Dollar Tree, I want to say it's reindeer moss, but it's the kind that, I mean, I think it's actually real because it just feels like it. But anyway, I just used some hot glue, and I just covered that up completely, and I'm going to use the lavender flower from Dollar Tree that you see next to me that I just actually got at my local store last night, so they definitely should have these in store, but I'm going to be using that, and I'm going to put about 2 lavender sprigs per bucket. So I used some wire cutters, and when I did, those lavender sprigs snapped off pretty easily. So you don't need to hot glue down the lavender at all. It just goes right into the Dollar Tree floral foam. That stuff is so easy to work with, but it really does just get everywhere. So be prepared for that foam to just kind of go around your workspace completely, because every time I cut it, it just kind of, the floral foam kind of just like exploded into tiny pieces. But I don't know if it's just because it's Dollar Tree floral foam. I don't know if that's how it normally is supposed to be, but yeah. So I kind of messed around with the spacing of these once I realized that I only wanted 2 in here instead of 3, because I realized I only had 4 in total and I needed 2 in each bucket. So once you get it to your liking, then, you know, just do the same process with the other bucket as well. So I used 2 of those. So I'm not going to show you what that looks like yet, because I kind of have a bigger reveal at the end of the video. So in the meantime, I just wanted to share with you that this is a collab with Crafty Kathy. So she has created another spring video as well, so make sure to check out her video. I love her decor. She makes just some of the most beautiful things. She does all kinds of like French country and cottagecore and farmhouse. She's also a Dollar Tree crafter, and she even has some cooking videos as well that I recommend you check out. But her stuff is just so beautiful. I just highly recommend you check out whatever that she's come up with today. I'm so excited to check out her video as well. So head on over there. I've linked down her channel and I've linked down her video. So this is one of those tiny little Dollar Tree lamps, and they have these come out every spring. I just picked this one up last night from my local store, so they definitely should have them. And they have them in a multitude of colors, but white was perfect for this because it kind of takes a lot of the work out of it for me. I don't have to repaint this. I don't have to spray paint this. This was already white, plastic of course, but that's no matter because we are just going to take some black paint and we're just going to edge this out and give it more of the rustic look that I'm going for. So I kind of did this on every little kind of edge and trim. I mean, not every, I did not do this to the middle part of this lantern, but I really just kind of did this to the top and the bottom, and I really like how it turned out. So this one I included just a little bit more of the process because I just thought it was cool how, you know, how quickly it went once you actually start doing it. And with this, the best thing I can recommend is just kind of do it quickly, don't think about it. Kind of similar to how I freehand some things, but you just have to not think about it too much. I just put a little tiny bit of black Waverly paint and in the color ink on the edge of this foam brush. And so you really just kind of drag it along the edge kind of quickly and just briefly. And so I decided to show you the process for this one because I basically use this same technique with most of the crafts in today's video. So I have a bunch of little tiny crafts. All of these items are really from Dollar Tree, but really for this video, if you want to recreate this tiered tray, you're going to need a lot of floral foam. You're going to need a lot of just florals in general that you think go well together, and just some tiny little mini pieces that can help fill up your tiered tray. I got my tiered tray from Hobby Lobby. I got it on sale for, I want to say, $25, but it's a decent size one with 3 layers, and it actually has a buffalo check pattern on the bottom of it. So I kind of had to find a lot of mini pieces to fill it up. And then in the spots where I didn't have things to fill it up, I just took some lavender flowers as some nice fillers. So right when I thought I was done with this, I decided, you know what, I'm going to add more edging, more trimming. So this one, I will show you what this one looks like when it's done, but I don't want to give too much away of what the tiered tray is going to look like. So I did some final shots of each craft here, but I really just kind of want you to see, watch till the end and see the end result of this, because I'm obsessed with how it turned out. So it looks a little bit messy, but that is definitely in line with the look that I'm going for. And that's how it turned out. And I really think it kind of looks more upscale when you add that black edging to this little plastic white piece. So for this next one, I took a medium-sized clay pot. These are coming in a set of 2 at Dollar Tree right now. They are kind of more larger clay pots. You know, they have those 3 packs of those itty-bitty tiny clay pots, and then they have these 2 packs of the larger pots, just kind of like a medium. I would say like maybe like 2 or 3 sizes bigger than those mini ones, but it's a nice kind of medium in height pot, so it's kind of the perfect one for the craft that I'm about to do next. So I took more of that floral foam, and like I said, you're going to need a lot of it, but I managed to skate by with just half of a regular Dollar Tree floral foam piece that you can buy. Somehow I managed to only use half of one for this entire video. I just got really resourceful and just kept using every little piece of it. I took more reindeer moss. As you can tell, I hot glued over that to cover it up. And that's also very important to hot glue it down for this one, because we are going to have this clay pot on an angle. It's going to be on its side. We don't want any of that moss falling out. And this is something that you can also buy at Dollar Tree. I'm not really sure what this floral piece is called exactly, but I just love how it kind of drapes down and kind of almost like a vine. And that is exactly what I like about this tiered tray, kind of the lavender and the purple kind of falling down like this. And that's how it turns out, and I love it. That's my favorite part of the tiered tray, I think. So this is your midway reminder to subscribe. If you haven't already, make sure to hit the bell notification button so you never miss a new upload. And hey, while you're at it, why don't you follow me on Instagram at @thecraftyquinn. Now let's get back into the video. And this is a ceramic pitcher, and it's a Farmhouse pitcher that Dollar Tree had, I want to say last summer. These were really, really hard to find. They sold out really quick. But my friend Teresa B DIY, she was kind enough to send me 2 of these. I want to say maybe she sent me 3. She sent me a bunch, but I love this so much, and it kind of fits with the modern farmhouse vibe, so it's kind of perfect. And then I took some Walmart eucalyptus, or well, no, I don't think that's what it's called. I think it's called, I want to say dogwood. Oh my gosh, can you guys please remind me in the comments what this thing is called? Oh my gosh. Of course, whenever I do my voiceover, I can't remember the names of things, but if you guys know what this is called, please remind me in the comments down below. So I used actually most of this plant, and this was one of those 97-cent floral picks at Walmart, and you just never know what you're gonna get each week. I swear, when you go to Walmart, I feel like they have kind of a different one each week that's 97 cents. But hey, can you imagine? Now it's cheaper than Dollar Tree. So I used most of this, and the reason I used most of it is because I didn't want the floral foam to show up underneath, and yeah, because you can kind of see it when you would like look above it. But so I used a lot of it in this, and I also kind of like that it's like just overflowing out of the little pitcher. But the greens are definitely the kind of thing that I'm trying to go for with this. So I'll show you that one at the end. And then we're moving right along to our next mini, and this is that little tiny metal water pitcher. And so, well, you know what it's called. But so Dollar Tree had this last year, and it normally comes on a metal stand that's supposed to go into, you can put it in a flower arrangement, you can put it outside if you want. But I took that off of there, and as you can tell, it's just now kind of on its own, but it's really easy to just bend it and break it off. So then I filled this with floral foam, and we are going to take another floral pick from Walmart, and we are going to use the pieces of that. And I don't know what this floral pick is called at all. I don't know the actual special name for it, but I just love the look of it. So I just cut off the ends of this floral pick, and you really just needed the ends. And then I also just kind of liked the leaves that came on it as well, and I kind of put a couple on each side. But this one definitely took a bunch of little pieces to fill it up. So that is what I'm doing off screen. I'm taking more of those wire cutters. I'm taking wire cutters to cut off more of these little pieces. And so you just want to fill it up completely with this until you can't see the floral foam anymore. And that's how this piece turned out. And that is at the very top of my tiered tray. So this is the stand that you just saw in the last picture. This is one of Dollar Tree's ceramics. I think it's supposed to be a candle stand. I'm not really sure what it is, but I just kind of call it a pedestal sometimes. But I painted this white completely. It was all black. I painted it all white, and then I took black paint and went back and just kind of swiped my brush over it a few times to kind of also look like some of the other pieces that I had in my tiered tray to give it that modern farmhouse look. And as you saw in the picture, that is where I sat my water pitcher. Watering can. Oh my gosh, I just remembered the name of it. Watering can. So then I added a little bit more to the top. Kind of wish I didn't add it more to the top. I should have just kind of left that the way it was. But I just wanted the top to match the bottom more. But maybe I'll go back and fix it later. But this is actually what it originally looked like. And I just realized the clips here are out of order. So this is going great so far. But anyway, all I did was, this was what they looked like originally. These candle stands And I haven't seen them in stores lately, but they always have glass versions of these. So you can always find a glass version of this. You don't have to use this one in particular. You can always find the glass one that they always have and just paint that one white and then do kind of the same thing. But I grabbed 2 of these and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it at the time, but now I'm really glad I did. So like I said, I painted this white completely with white Waverly chalk paint, and it wasn't enough. The first layer just definitely was not enough. So I did go back and I did do, I want to say I feel like I almost had to do 3 coats on this, because it is definitely hard to cover up something like this on the first try or even second try. And you want to make sure that if you're using the Waverly white chalk paint, just make sure it's dry completely. Just, you know, hair dry it if you need to, but if it's not dry, it kind of, the brush will push the paint that was there if it's not completely dry, and then you kind of like lose your place, so to speak, and you kind of have to go over it anyway. So just make sure it's all completely dry before you keep adding on your next coats of paint. And that's how that turns out. So for the next piece, I think this might actually be the last piece that I'm actually going to show you guys, because I did so many tiny little pieces for this. I did add another sign later on, and it's a little relaxed sign, and I followed kind of the same method. I painted it all white, and then I did the black trimming, and both of those signs are from Dollar Tree. All of these pieces that I'm painting are from Dollar Tree. So I love this birdhouse. I love to use this every spring for spring decor. So I painted this all white with the Waverly white chalk paint, and I'm using that same Waverly ink color to just go over all of the edges of this birdhouse. And then after I did that, I did go ahead and add a few sprigs of lavender in the bottom hole of the birdhouse. And that's how it turns out once it's all fully painted. And I love that. So now I can finally show you guys the big reveal, but this is how it looks with everything added in. I just love this, and it came out way better than I thought it was going to, because I had a vision, and you know, you never know if it's going to turn out exactly like you hope. But this definitely exceeded my own expectations, so I have to say I really love it. And I just love how everything matches, and I'm glad I could keep everything kind of a matching color scheme, so to speak. But I also like the pops of color with the clay pots. And that black metal piece is also from Dollar Tree. So here is kind of the scaled out version, but this is how it looks like. And here's another angle. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to check out Kathy's video as well. Check out her channel. Subscribe to her if you love her content. And thank you guys so much. Let's keep in touch on Instagram. And if you want to check out more videos, watch them here on the left. Take care, you guys.